Okay then folks, so this is our sort of second go at using Launchpad Arcade. So what are we going to try and do today? We're going to try and today and think about two things, and then I'm also going to try and show you how to do a screen record if you've never done that sort of thing. I know you might know how to take a screenshot, which is a sort of photo of your screen, but I want to see if you can actually record your screen and record a video of it, so you can share your like Launchpad song or mix or whatever you want to call it with the rest of the class. So for today, what I'm doing to get a bit more use out of Launchpad online and to make it work better, I'm going to use the hotkeys. Now by hotkeys you can see at the bottom of the screen here, and there are two hotkeys to use, P and the semicolon. And watch when I press P here, what it does. It shows you that the top half of all of the pads on the screen, instead of operating them with the mouse, when you hold that down, holding down the letter P, you can then press the relevant key and it will trigger the pad. So if I press number 1 and 2 and 4 at the same time, it's going to set two lots of drums and a melodic idea off. If you let go of the letter P, the screen comes back to life and then you can control it just with the mouse. Now the beauty of being able to use the hotkeys is that you can obviously trigger several pads at once, whereas with the mouse you've got to click on each one individually. Using the semicolon key gets you connected to the bottom half of the keyboard. You can't press both at the same time, so you can't have the whole thing using the keyboard. You've got to, because obviously the keys are assigned twice, so you can't press both down at the same time. So that's using the hotkeys. Windows G. What does Windows G do? Windows G, as in Windows, as in the Windows button on your keyboard, which is near the space bar. Windows G is a way of setting your screen to record. So if you press Windows G, it will open up a menu that allows you to record your screen. Mine's loading, but because I'm already recording here, and here you go. So you can see Windows G. It's kind of like an Xbox thing, which is gives you loads of different options as to how you can capture your screen. Now look, you'll have to have a play around with this and work out how to use it for yourself. You can close down and open up different menus using the bar at the top that appears here. Opening up the settings pad here gets you access to all of that, and that's how you do that. But the bottom line is that all you need to do really is you need to do a test record by pressing the start recording button, press stop, and then when you stop it, your recording will open up in the middle of the screen like this. So I press record, you can see it running here, and you press and then if you then click on the screen, you're then now back in Launchpad, which you can then use. And then when you've recorded your track in Launchpad or whatever you want to do, you press stop, and then it says it's recorded, and you press Windows G again, and it will open up the menu that will allow you to see your recording. So press Windows G, and let me just find where it is. It's in Gallery, and there you are. You can see I've experimented with one previously. This is the one that I just recorded, that little test one I did there. Click open file location, it will show you where on your PC you've recorded it, and from there you could then upload it to the shared work channel, and people could listen to your recording, and you'd also have a record of it yourself. Remember please, if you're screen capturing your computer, to make sure that what we see is always nothing personal, always totally appropriate, and really I only want to be seeing your Launchpad arcade window, nothing else please, so make sure that you get that right. Okay, so that's how to use Windows G. Now what happens if Windows G doesn't work on your computer? This is how you sort that out. Windows G is a free app that you can download from the Microsoft Store. Now, if you're using a Windows 10 computer, it should be pre-installed on your machine, but if it isn't, this is what you do. You Microsoft Store, and I typed in Windows G, but you don't have to do that. You see, I was practicing how to do this. So I go shop the Microsoft Store, and I open it. Now, you don't have to pay for this, it's completely free. Here I am, I click and search, and I just typed in Windows G. Why is it called Windows G? It's called Windows G because those are the buttons you press on the keyboard to make it work. If you search for Xbox Game Bar, that's also the same thing. Here you are, clicking it, Xbox Game Bar, open it up, and then click Get, and then open. And then you would then from here give it a chance to load. It's just thinking. You would then click here download. The download, it will appear in a minute. It would say, it says Get. Now for me the Get disappears because it's telling me I've already got it installed. So if you've already got it installed on your computer, you won't be able to get it, but what it'll do is it'll just launch it from here and you'll be able to get going with it. So that's Windows G. If you're on a Mac, you'll have to work out how you do your screen capture, and I'm a bit rusty with Macs. If you Google it, it'll tell you what, it'll probably be a lot more intuitive to do in a Mac than it will be on a PC, because they're usually brilliant for this sort of thing. But it'll work in the same way. It'll capture the whole screen and then it'll save it to your documents, and you'll just have to find the file. Now, my final thing, now I've talked about how to use the hotkeys briefly, and how to use Windows G, is why not try and do an actual sort of sequence which sounds like it might be something approximating a song or whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk more about how you structure these ideas next week, but think about starting with a pattern or patterns, think about it building, think about the timing of how frequently you introduce stuff. I'm always counting the beat and the bars when I listen to a loop. So I always make sure I think about timing stuff so it comes in after every 2 bars or after every 4 bars. I'm not the best at this because this style of music is not really me, you'll be unsurprised to hear, and you'll probably do a better job than I can. But I can still try and show you a little bit about how I would do this. So this is my like 1 minute little pattern. Some of the time I use it launching the mouse, some of the times I'm going to use the hotkeys. So here it goes. And there you go. Like I say, not brilliant, but I'm trying all the time to think about a little sequence, to build patterns, to mix and match patterns together, and to get the timing of when you introduce or remove a loop. Don't forget that the ones with the little arrow here are what are called triggers, so you have to press and hold to trigger those. If you just click it, it instantly stops. You've got to press and hold. So see what you can create, and why not share your recording with us in the shared work channel, and if you get stuck with it, give me a shout. So there we go for the core lesson for today.